All right, so look, I want to talk about how everything in America is a lie. The whole thing. And when you put all these lies together, that is the Matrix. When you hear people talking about the modern day Matrix, this is what they're talking about. So in this video, I want to go through all the lies of America. Because you have to understand that at its core, America is not a country. America is a program that runs on white supremacy. It runs on the ideology of white supremacy. Every institution, every tradition, every truth about this country was meant to serve one goal. And that goal is the genetic survival of the white elites by any means necessary. That's the end game. Manifest destiny wasn't divine. That was a lie. It was about genocide. It was a plan for genocide. The Constitution was not written for everybody. It was a contract amongst white male landowners to dominate. It was an agreement amongst themselves. And Western civilization is just rebranded colonial theft and cultural plagiarism for melanated peoples. All right, so let's talk about the lie of intelligence. IQ tests were designed to justify the idea of white intellectual superiority. The school curriculums have nothing but whitewashed history. And that was done to elevate the European thinkers and erase the contributions of melanated peoples to things like science, math, spirituality, and philosophy. Education in America is not enlightenment, it's indoctrination. It's lies to build up this matrix. Then we have the lies about borders and nationalism. First off, this land is stolen. Their borders are imaginary. They don't really exist. America pretends to be a nation, but in truth, it ain't nothing but a corporate colony built on genocide and slavery. The American flag is a spell. The anthem is a cover story. And the 4th of July celebrates independence for white men. You have to understand that white supremacy invented America to basically hide the crime scene. Next, we have the lie of capitalism. Capitalism is just modern day slavery. Your labor is extracted to keep these white elites in power. You're not working to live. You're not working towards prosperity. You are working for a machine that was never going to free you, that was never going to sustain you. Generational wealth in white families comes from generational exploitation from black families and the families of other melanated peoples. And capitalism rewards obedience and punishes consciousness. And if at any point you question the system, you're labeled lazy, you're labeled as dangerous, or you're labeled as crazy. All because you recognize with your own mind and your own two eyes that this whole thing is a lie. Then we have the lie of religion. Christianity was weaponized to justify slavery, to justify colonialism, and to create submission. And Jesus is portrayed as white to psychologically condition the world to worship whiteness. These religious missionaries, they didn't save souls. They erased cultures. And in all these religions that these white supremacists push, they all demonize black spiritual systems. Black spirituality is always outlawed, demonized, and they always try to hide it. They always try to keep it a secret. They don't ever want nobody to know. So these religions of America, these religions from these white supremacists ain't nothing but a lie. They are nothing but white supremacy infiltrating the spirit to enslave the soul. They couldn't just take the land. They had to colonize the mind too. Then we got this train again. I swear every time I'm recording a video. All right, so next there's the lie of law and order. Police were created from slave patrols, and this system never evolved, it just got better PR. The legal system protects whiteness and punishes blackness. In America, justice means property over people. It means profits over people. Blackness is criminalized and whiteness is presumed innocent. Even when caught red-handed, the President of the United States is a perfect example of this. So you have to understand that in America, law and order is just a code for keep the hierarchy intact. It's about maintaining the system of white supremacy. Then we have the lie of science. Not that science is a lie, but the science that America spews are lies. There is a such thing as scientific racism. And then you have to think about the reality of medical experimentation. This is not a new thing, and it is not a rare thing. We know about the Tuskegee experiment. We know about the Henrietta Lacks experiments. How many other experiments are they doing? How many other different ways are they experimenting on these black and brown bodies behind closed doors? Not to mention, they're literally doing research on melanin. how to use it in spacecraft, how to use it for military purposes with weapons and armor. Not only that, but did you know that they actually extracted melanin from humans since the 1920s? You can Google it. There's a man named William J. Young. He did this paper. He wrote this paper in the 1920s talking about he was extracting melanin from Aboriginal humans. All this to say, white supremacist science is not about truth. It's about control. Then we have the lies of media and entertainment. The news is propaganda. Hollywood rewrites history, and it always glorifies white violence while demonizing black rebellion. On social media, the algorithms suppress the truth tellers while they elevate distractions. Black trauma is commodified while black joy is silenced unless we're performing. And in America, your attention is currency. They own the narrative and they rent your identity. Then there's the lie about race, which also ties into the science lies. Race was invented, not discovered. It's just a caste system disguised as biology. Whiteness is a social invention with no substance, and this lie exists to divide and conquer. And this lie is meant to hide who the original peoples are. This lie is meant to hide the circumstance of melanin. Then there's the lie of global dominance. Every time the U.S. goes to war, they say it's for freedom, but really it's just economic and genetic warfare. Imperialism is painted as peacekeeping, and democracy is imposed at gunpoint. Resource-rich and melanin-rich countries are destabilized on purpose. They do that to keep them weak and dependent. So yes, white supremacy is not just an American ideology. This is a global system that affects everybody and everything. And all these lies that we talked about, when you put them together, that makes the matrix. This matrix is real. All these lies create this highly sophisticated illusion. And these lies help keep white power alive, even though their numbers are crumbling. It helps maintain the extraction of labor, of melanin, of energy, and culture from the global majority. And they use all these lies, they use all this propaganda to make all this shit seem normal when it's not. Because the truth is, this is not sustainable and this is not natural. And at a certain point, once you see the matrix, once you recognize it, once you acknowledge it, once you accept that red pill, you have a responsibility. You have a choice to make. Either you fight to dismantle it, or you become part of the code that sustains it. Are you going to help bring truth to power and tear down these illusions? Or are you going to help maintain the lies? That's what it comes down to. But America ain't nothing but a lie.